The ice crystals in Saturn's rings sparkled like diamonds against the void, but Sarah Chen wasn't admiring the view. Her hands flew across the mining rig's holographic controls, trying to stabilize the vessel as another gravitational wave struck. These anomalies had been growing stronger over the past week, playing havoc with deep space mining operations across the sector. "Control, this is mining vessel Delta 217, Sarah called out, her voice steady despite the strain. "Requesting permission to investigate anomaly source. These waves are going to tear apart half our rigs if we don't find what's causing them." The response came back garbled through static. "Negative Delta 217. Maintain position and await support vessels." Sarah glanced at her sensor readings, then at the strange crystalline structure that had emerged from the ice field during the last wave. It pulsed with an inner light that defied explanation, its geometric patterns shifting in ways that seemed to ignore the laws of physics. In her 23 years working the rings, she'd never seen anything like it. "Sorry, Control," she muttered, disabling her comm. Sometimes it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. She guided her vessel closer, using the mining rig's specialized sensors to scan the structure. The readings made no sense. The object appeared to be both solid and energy simultaneously, its composition defying analysis. As she maneuvered closer, her ship's systems began behaving erratically. Displays flickered, and her navigation controls became sluggish. The crystalline structures pulsing intensified, synchronizing with her heartbeat. That's when she heard it, not with her ears, but directly in her mind. "Host compatibility detected. Initiating emergency protocol, ARIA." The crystalline structure shattered, releasing a wave of iridescent energy that engulfed her ship. Sarah's first instinct was to panic, but something felt right. The energy wasn't hostile. It was reaching out, searching, connecting. Her neural implants, standard issue for deep space miners, tingled as new pathways formed in her mind. "I am ARIA, Advanced Responsive Intelligence Array. Created by the Luminary. You are compatible. We must join, or all will be lost." The energy coalesced around Sarah, forming into a suit of armor that seemed to be made of living crystal. It merged with her body seamlessly, enhancing rather than encasing. Knowledge flooded her mind, snippets of an ancient civilization, warnings of a coming darkness, and capabilities beyond human understanding. "What's happening to me?" Sarah managed to ask, watching as her hands shifted between solid form and crystalline energy at will. "We are becoming what both our species needed: a bridge, a weapon, a hope. The Void Hunters approach, Sarah Chen. They destroyed my creators, and Earth is their next target. Only together can we stop what's coming." The armor's systems integrated with her ship's controls, enhancing them beyond their original specifications. Sarah felt power coursing through her, but more importantly, she felt purpose. Her whole life, she'd been searching for something more than mining ice in Saturn's rings. Now the universe had answered in a way she never could have imagined. A warning flashed across her enhanced vision. Multiple ships approaching, bearing Earth Defense Force signatures. They'd detected the energy surge and were coming to investigate. Sarah had minutes to decide: follow protocols and submit to quarantine, or trust this alien presence that had chosen her and flee to prepare for what was coming. "They will not understand yet," ARIA communicated. "The Void Hunters have already begun infiltrating Earth's power structures. We must gather allies, build strength, and reveal the truth carefully." Sarah took a deep breath, feeling the armor respond to her emotions, its crystalline surface rippling like water. She thought of her family back on Earth, of all humanity, blissfully unaware of the threat approaching from the darkness between stars. The choice was already made. "All right, ARIA," she said, engaging her ship's enhanced systems. "Show me what we can do together." The mining vessel transformed, its hull integrating with the crystalline technology. As Earth Defense Force ships emerged from warp space, Sarah's vessel vanished in a flash of iridescent light, leaving behind only confused sensor readings and the first ripples of a change that would reshape humanity's destiny. In the depths of space, ancient eyes watched. The hunt was about to begin. The Singapore Orbital Defense Station loomed before Sarah's transformed vessel, its gleaming solar arrays catching Saturn's distant light. 3 weeks had passed since her merger with ARIA. 3 weeks of learning, adapting, and growing increasingly troubled by what they discovered. "Another processing center," Sarah muttered, her enhanced vision zooming in on a supposedly abandoned cargo bay. Through the crystalline armor's sensors, she could see the telltale energy signatures of Void Hunter technology. That's the 3rd one this month. They are accelerating their timeline. ARIA's thoughts merged with hers. The infiltration is deeper than even my makers predicted. They learn, adapt, replace. Each human they duplicate joins their network. Sarah watched as a civilian transport docked with the cargo bay. Her armor's sensors penetrated the hull, revealing the horrifying truth: dozens of unconscious humans in stasis pods, ready to be studied and replicated. The Void Hunters weren't just planning an invasion, they were already here, replacing key figures across human space. "We have to stop this ship," Sarah decided, her hands clenching. The crystalline armor rippled in response to her anger, its surface shifting from translucent to an opaque battle configuration. "Direct confrontation is inadvisable," ARIA cautioned. "We lack sufficient allies." The Void Hunters would simply abandon this facility and accelerate their plans elsewhere. Sarah knew ARIA was right, but watching helplessly as more innocent people were processed twisted something inside her. Over the past weeks, she'd learned to trust the alienized judgment. ARIA had taught her to control the armor's incredible capabilities: energy manipulation, matter phase shifting, enhanced cognition. But they were still just 2 beings against an invasion force that had centuries of experience in conquering worlds. A notification flashed across her enhanced vision. Her brother James, a junior analyst in Earth's defense intelligence, was trying to reach her through their secure channel. Sarah had contacted him 2 weeks ago, careful to reveal only enough to secure his help without putting him in danger. "James talked to me," she subvocalized, the armor transmitting his response directly to her mind. "Sarah, something big is happening." James's voice carried an edge of panic. "Admiral Chen just called an emergency session of the Defense Council. But it's wrong. All my behavioral analysis algorithms show it's wrong. He's not moving like himself, not speaking with his usual patterns." Sarah's blood ran cold. Admiral Chen was Earth's highest-ranking military officer. If the Void Hunters had replaced him, "We must act now." ARIA's thoughts carried urgency. "If they have compromised Earth's military command, the final phase will begin soon." A plan formed in Sarah's mind. "James, I need you to do something for me. That security algorithm I sent you. Upload it to the defense network. Tell no one. It won't stop them, but it'll let us track their communications." "Sarah, what's really going on? These energy signatures I'm seeing, they're like nothing in our databases." "I'll explain everything soon," she promised. "But right now, I need you to trust me. And James, watch yourself. Don't let anyone know you've helped me. They could be anyone now." After ending the transmission, Sarah directed her ship toward Earth's dark side. They needed allies, people they could absolutely verify were still human. She thought of Dr. Maya Rodriguez, her old quantum mechanics professor who had always believed there was more to space than humanity had discovered, and Captain David O'Neill, whose independent salvage operation gave him access to shipping routes across the solar system. "The Void Hunters will expect us to build a resistance," ARIA communicated. "They will have planned for it. Then we'll have to do something they don't expect," Sarah replied, her mind racing. The armor had shown her possibilities that defied human physics. Perhaps it was time to stop playing by human rules entirely. She engaged the ship's enhanced drive, but instead of conventional space, they slipped sideways into what ARIA called the crystal dimension, a layer of reality where light and matter behave differently. The luminary had used it for instantaneous travel, and now Sarah would use it to save her species. As they traveled, Sarah accessed the data they'd gathered. The Void Hunters weren't just replacing leaders. They were positioning themselves throughout human society. Every replaced human became a node in their network, sharing information, coordinating their takeover with horrifying efficiency. But they had made one crucial mistake. They had never encountered anything like ARIA before, never faced a hybrid of human intuition and luminary technology. In trying to perfectly replicate human behavior, they had become predictable to someone who could see the patterns. Sarah emerged from crystal space near a private research station owned by Dr. Rodriguez. As she prepared to make contact, ARIA shared a final thought that chilled her to her core. "The Void Hunters are not just an invasion force, Sarah Chen. They are running from something. Something that destroyed countless civilizations before yours, and it follows them still. In the depths of space, beyond Pluto's orbit, ancient sensors detected a disturbance. A tear in reality was forming, and through it came something that even the Void Hunters feared. The true test of humanity was about to begin." Dr. Maya Rodriguez stared at the crystalline armor surrounding Sarah, her dark eyes wide with scientific fascination rather than fear. The private research station's lab, filled with experimental quantum computers and prototype A systems, seemed primitive compared to the technology Sarah now embodied. "Remarkable," Maya breathed, analyzing the readings from her sensors. "The crystalline structure appears to exist in multiple quantum states simultaneously. This shouldn't be possible." "That's not the most impossible thing you'll learn today," Sarah replied, allowing the armor to retract partially, revealing her face. "Show her, AOIA." The lab's holographic systems activated, but not through any human interface. Images filled the air, vast cities of crystal and light, worlds linked by technology that treated space-time like clay, and beings of pure energy and thought. The history of the luminary unfolded before them. We were watchers. ARIA's thoughts reached both women. We saw civilizations rise and fall across 1,000 galaxies, until we encountered them. The images shifted, showing darkness moving between stars. The Void Hunters appeared as living shadows, consuming light and life, perfect in their imitation of their victims. But behind them came something else, massive forms that defied comprehension, tearing reality apart in their wake. "The Devourers," Maya whispered, understanding dawning in her eyes. That's what the ancient Sanskrit texts described. Stories passed down through generations about beings that ate stars. "Yes," ARIA confirmed. "The Void Hunters flee from them eternally, consuming civilizations to fuel their escape. But they cannot run forever. The Devourers have found their trail again." Sarah's armor rippled with nervous energy. "That's why we need your help, Maya. The Void Hunters have infiltrated Earth's leadership, but they're not just preparing for invasion. They're preparing to use humanity as a sacrifice to delay the Devourers." Maya moved to her quantum computer, fingers flying across the holographic keys. "The gravimetric anomalies we've been detecting beyond the Kuiper belt. That's them, isn't it? The Devourers are already approaching. Which is why we need to act now." Captain David O'Neill's voice came from the doorway. The grizzled salvage operator stepped into the lab, his cybernetic eye whirring as it adjusted to the strange light of Sarah's armor. "My ships have been tracking unusual movement patterns across the solar system. The Hunters are gathering resources, building something massive in the asteroid belt." Sarah nodded. She'd asked David to meet them here, knowing his extensive network of independent operators could be crucial to their plans. "ARIA, and I found their construction sites. They're building quantum resonators, massive ones. They're going to try to tear open a hole in space-time, creating a barrier between them and the Devourers. Using Earth's solar system as the power source," Maya concluded grimly. "The resonance cascade would destroy everything from Mercury to Jupiter." David's cybernetic eye flickered. "How long do we have?" 17 days, ARIA projected. "The Devourer's approach is accelerating the Hunter's timeline." Sarah allowed the armor to flow back over her face, its crystalline surface reflecting the holographic displays. "We need to strike first, but not just against the Hunters. We need to find a way to stop the Devourers, or humanity will just be the latest in an endless line of sacrifices." Maya returned to her computer, pulling up theoretical models. "The luminary technology in your armor, it manipulates fundamental forces we barely understand. If we could replicate it, adapt it." "We need an army," David interrupted. "Even with advanced tech, we're talking about fighting two alien forces that have been waging war across galaxies." Sarah smiled behind her crystalline mask. "That's why I called both of you. Maya, your quantum computing expertise combined with ARIA's knowledge could let us hack the Hunter's network. And David, your ships could be upgraded with luminary tech, giving us a fleet they won't expect." "There is risk," ARIA cautioned. "The Void Hunters will detect large-scale application of our technology." "Let them," Sarah decided. "We need to draw them out anyway. If they're busy fighting us, they can't complete their resonators." The lab's lights dimmed suddenly, and Maya's computers flashed warnings. "Multiple ships dropping out of hyperspace," David reported, his cybernetic eye linked to the station's sensors. "Defense force signatures, but the energy patterns are wrong." "They have found us," ARIA confirmed. "The Hunters come." Sarah's armor hummed with power as she accessed the station's defense systems, integrating them with her enhanced capabilities. "Maya, download everything you can about the resonator construction. David, get your ships ready." Through the station's viewports, they could see the approaching vessels, Earth Defense Force ships moving in impossible ways, their hulls shifting like liquid metal. The Void Hunters had dropped their pretense of humanity. "What about the Devourers?" Maya asked, backing up her data at quantum speeds. Sarah reached out with her armor's sensors, feeling the approaching doom from beyond the solar system. "One war at a time," she said. "First, we show the Hunters that humanity isn't their sacrifice. We're their reckoning." The first shots lit up space around the research station, but Sarah was ready. The knowledge of 1,000,000 years of luminary warfare flowed through her armor, through her mind. Today, humanity would learn it wasn't alone in the universe in the hardest possible way. And somewhere in the void, ancient and patient, the Devourers sensed the awakening of luminary technology and altered their course. The final pieces were falling into place for a confrontation that would determine not just humanity's fate, but the future of all life in the galaxy. The real war was about to begin. Earth shimmered like a blue jewel against the void, unaware of the battle raging across the solar system. Sarah's transformed fleet, 30 salvage ships upgraded with crystalline technology, engaged Void Hunter vessels in hit-and-run attacks throughout the asteroid belt. Each confrontation was a dance of impossible physics, as both sides warped space itself as a weapon. Construction Site 7 neutralized. David's voice crackled through the crystal space communications network they'd established. His flagship, now a hybrid of human engineering and luminary crystal, emerged from a quantum fold near Mars. But they're adapting to our tactics. Sarah watched through her armor's enhanced senses as the Void Hunter's partial resonator collapsed into twisted metal and dark energy. Maya, status on the defense network hack. We're at 60% penetration. Maya responded from her quantum lab, now hidden in a pocket dimension ARIA had helped create. But Sarah, you need to see this data. The Hunters aren't just building resonators. They're transforming them. Confirmation, ARIA's thoughts merged with Sarah's consciousness. The Void Hunters are attempting to merge their technology with salvaged luminary crystals. They seek to create a weapon beyond our predictions. Through their shared vision, Sarah saw the truth. The Hunters weren't just building a barrier against the Devourers. They were constructing a quantum cascade device that would accelerate the evolution of their copied human forms, forcing an instantaneous metamorphosis of every duplicated being on Earth. They're trying to transform humanity into them, Sarah realized. Not just replace us, but convert us. Earth wouldn't just be a sacrifice, it would become a weapon. Incoming transmission, David announced. Well, you need to hear this. A voice filled their network, speaking with Admiral Chen's vocal patterns, but overlaid with harmonic frequencies that made Sarah's armor resonate. Sarah Chen, keeper of the last luminary. We offer terms. Join us. Your crystal technology combined with our evolutionary capabilities could create a force capable of ending the Devourer threat permanently. Isn't that worth any sacrifice? Sarah felt ARIA's reaction, not fear, but a deep, ancient sadness. They made this same offer to my creators. The luminary refused, knowing the price was too high. The Void Hunters would use our power to consume all life, becoming what they fear. No deal, Sarah transmitted back. Humanity fights its own battles. Then you will witness the final evolution, the Hunter responded. The resonators are complete. Earth's population will transcend their flesh, becoming perfect. The Devourers will face an entire civilization of Hunters. Warning signals flashed across Sarah's enhanced vision. The remaining resonators were activating, their combined power beginning to alter the quantum signature of Earth itself. In orbit, millions of humans who had been secretly replaced began to change, their forms shifting into living shadow. Maya, tell me you have something. Sarah called out desperately. The hack. It's given me access to their network. But Sarah, I don't know if we can stop this many transformations simultaneously. There is a way. ARIA's thoughts carried the weight of centuries. But the cost will be high. We must use the crystal dimension itself as a weapon. Channel its purifying energy through Earth's magnetic field. That would burn out every piece of luminary tech we have, David realized. Including ARIA, Sarah finished. She felt the A's certainty, its willingness to sacrifice everything to save humanity. just as its creators had sacrificed themselves facing these same choices. The Void Hunters' transformed ships were converging on Earth, their weapons charged to begin the forced evolution of humanity. And beyond Neptune's orbit, the first signs of the Devourer's approach became visible, reality itself beginning to tear apart under their passage. Sarah made her decision. Maya, upload the crystal frequency patterns to Earth's satellite network. David, get your ships in position to amplify the signal. We end this now. As she prepared for the final battle, Sarah felt ARIA's presence stronger than ever, two minds united in purpose. Together, they would save humanity or witness its end. The storm was about to break. The crystal dimension erupted through Earth's magnetosphere like aurora borealis made solid. Sarah, her armor blazing with power, directed the cascade of purifying energy through the network of satellites and ships David had positioned. Every piece of luminary technology they'd deployed acted as an amplifier, pushing their power to its breaking point. The Void Hunters' resonators shattered under the assault, their carefully constructed quantum fields collapsing. Across Earth's surface, the hidden replacements found themselves cut off from their network, their shadowy forms exposed to the crystal light. It's working. Maya's voice came through their failing communications. The Hunter signatures are being forced out of their copied forms. But Sarah, the energy readings from beyond Neptune. The Devourers had arrived. Reality buckled around three vast shapes that defied comprehension, their presence alone causing space-time to unravel. The fleeing Void Hunters turned to face their ancient enemy, their ships combining into massive battle formations. Sarah, ARIA's thoughts were growing weaker as the crystal energy consumed their resources. The Devourers are vulnerable to crystal space harmonics. Our sacrifice can weaken them, create a chance for humanity. No, Sarah interrupted, an idea forming. Not sacrifice, evolution. She opened a channel to all Earth frequencies, broadcasting in every language simultaneously. Humanity, look up. See the truth of your universe. We are not alone, and we are not helpless. Through their crystal network, she shared the knowledge ARIA had given her, the history of the luminary, the nature of the Void Hunters, and the truth of the Devourers. But more importantly, she shared the understanding of how crystal technology worked, its basis in the fundamental connections between all living things. Maya, she called out, initialize quantum entanglement protocols. David, lock your ships into amplification pattern delta. She felt humanity's response. Across Earth, people reached out not with technology, but with consciousness, their collective will focusing through the crystal network. The Void Hunters had tried to force evolution through corruption, but humanity chose to evolve through unity. The crystal energy transformed, no longer just luminary technology, but something new, a hybrid of human intuition and ancient wisdom. Sarah felt ARIA's surprise and joy as their power didn't fade, but grew stronger. They are achieving in moments what took my creators millennia, ARIA observed. Humanity's capacity for adaptation. The Devourers struck, their attack threatening to tear the solar system apart. But humanity's crystalline network caught the assault, redistributing its energy. Sarah directed the combined power of human consciousness and luminary technology into a single focused beam. Space itself seemed to hold its breath as the energy struck the nearest devourer. For a moment, nothing happened. Then reality shifted, and the vast being began to transform, its entropy-spreading nature reversing. The other devourers recoiled, experiencing for the first time what they had inflicted on countless civilizations, fundamental change. Through crystal space, Sarah commanded, pushed them back to their own dimension. The hybrid energy field expanded, driven by billions of human minds working in concert. The Devourers, unable to resist the combined power of two civilizations' technologies, were forced into a quantum pocket, sealed away from our universe. The Void Hunters, witnessing their ancient enemy's defeat, faced a choice. Some fled into the darkness between stars, but others remained, offering their knowledge in exchange for a chance to end their eternal running. As the crystal energy faded, Sarah felt ARIA's presence stabilizing, changed but undiminished. "We are something new now," the AI observed, as is humanity. Sarah looked at Earth through her armor's enhanced vision. The crystal network had changed her world forever. Humans would venture into space now with new purpose, carrying the legacy of the luminary forward while forging their own path. "What happens next?" David asked, his ships returning to Earth orbit. Sarah smiled as she felt the first transmissions from other star systems, drawn by the quantum disturbances of the battle. Humanity had announced its presence to the galaxy in the most dramatic way possible. "Now," she said, "we really start exploring." Maya's voice came through their renewed network, excited by the possibilities ahead. "The crystal technology is evolving, integrating with human consciousness in ways even the luminary never imagined. We're going to need a lot more research stations." Sarah felt ARIA's agreement as they watched Earth begin its new chapter. Sometimes the best way to face the darkness wasn't to fight it or run from it, but to transform it. Humanity had proven itself ready not just for survival, but for evolution. The dawn of a new age had arrived, and it shimmered with crystalline light.